Hi darlings, this is Christina, and today I'm going to talk about the 35 products in my collection that I must be with at all times, the things that I cannot live without. If my entire makeup collection got wiped out, these are the things that I would need to replace. If you're interested in knowing what those are, just keep watching and let's get into it. Okay, darling, so I really tried to bring this list as small as possible. But when I was combing through all my products, I was like, oh, but I need this and this and that. And the way that this list got a little longer than I anticipated was there are certain things in the same category, like maybe the same lipstick type in different colors, right? Like, but I would like to have all those colors and a few beauty products that are skincare related that help enhance the actual skin and make your makeup look better. I added those things to this as well. I think what we'll start with is one of my favorite parts of makeup, and that is cheeks. So we're gonna start with the blushes. So there's no surprise, right, that most of my blushes, okay, are Chanel, okay? I love Chanel blushes. I think they do a fantastic job most of the time when it comes to their blush formulations. Now, when it comes to their normal line, they have reformulated and I really like it now. I think it's very blurring, it's very pretty, it is great for mature, drier skin, so I can stand behind it. But what they shine at are oftentimes their limited edition releases. So if I can say a Chanel blush, I'd say one limited edition release, right? As you see, I have many. And I'm trying to think of my most special. Okay. That would be the Fantasy de Chanel, which came out maybe 3 years ago. Oh my gosh. I don't know why they haven't made this formula again. It was the fastest selling blush. It was so popular. It was so beautiful, and they have not recreated it. And it's really sad because if they could make this in like different colors and different tones, oh, this blush would be everything. Then we have the JARDIN Imaginaire Light and Berry. This came out last year. You guys know how much I love this palette. It comes with a blush and highlight duo set, and they are beautiful separately. They are gorgeous together. I mean, it's the closest thing you're going to get to like that Fantasy de Chanel situation, because Chanel's highlighters are just so beautifully created and crafted. So that's it with both the highlight and the blush. Just so beautiful. So I would say pick one limited edition. I'd say if it's an illuminating blush like Fantasy Chanel, run, don't walk. You go, you purchase it, you just thank me later, because that will go fast, and the others tend to hang around for a little bit. Like even the JARDIN Imaginaire, I believe those are still available on the Chanel website. So wait for the reviews to see which one you want to do, but that's the one I would do. I would do at least one of the limited edition. Then we're going to talk about the Chantecaille release last year. Now, I have not been a big fan of Chantecaille blushes, so this once again is a limited edition situation. But I love this color in Energy. Very likened to the Chanel Fantasy de Chanel in like a peachy tone. So I absolutely love this blush. I haven't got tons of use out of as much as I want because I just haven't. I had reviewed so many blushes last year and there's so many good things. And this is a pretty vibrant corally pink blush. And so when I rock this, I need to wear very little other makeup. And since I sometimes don't know how to do very little makeup, this one got passed up a lot, but I do plan to wear it tons this year. In the midst of all my products, I forgot to mention my SISELY blush. This is in shade 1. Beautiful texture, beautiful finish, just a beautiful formula. Guerlain Terracotta blush. These came out last year. I have not talked about these in a really long time, but they actually are a really nice formula. It is a cooler pink, right? So it has a nice like pigmentation. It's got a beautiful blurring finish. It is not limited edition. This is something you could purchase at any time. It's got a light Guerlain smell to it. It's not offensive. It almost smells like a refined baby powder, but it's a beautiful formula, right? There is a place for matte blushes on our skin type, on my skin type, and usually skin types that are a little older, a little drier, you can't do a very hard matte. You need a matte that's going to be a little bit forgiving, blurring, and I felt like Guerlain did a really good job with that. And so for that reason, I'd have to bring back, I'd have to put the light pink in my collection because I don't have many cool pinks, and I thought this one was a really pretty, very pigmented, but very nicely formulated blush. Then we have a blush I have not talked about yet. I purchased only one. I haven't reviewed it. I'm going to review it when I get the Dior bronzer, which is on its way to me. But these are the YSL blushes. Now, I had to try it, right? It was calling to me. I mean, the packaging alone, stunning. This is in the color Nude Lavalliere, and this is one of those very finely milled shimmers, okay? To me, very lichened, but more pigmented than the Fantasy de Chanel. I really have enjoyed these powders. I swatched them. My family and I went out a few weeks ago, and there was a Sephora, and I needed to swatch at least the matte, a matte version, and the other peachy color, and I really like these. I like these as toppers. They are a bit shimmery to wear all the time, but they are really beautiful. And let me move this down just a little bit so I can give it its own space. But it's more of a purpley pink color versus like my more cooler toned pink from Guerlain. And obviously the formula is different. This is going to be a shimmer finish. It's very pretty. I would still add this to my collection. Every time I bring it out, I really enjoy using it. I will talk about this more very soon. We cannot forget one of my absolute favorite formulas from Chanel, and that was their Les Beige Healthy Glow Powder in Medium Gold. I really love this face palette, and even though it's not necessarily just a blush, but it's the blush that has my heart. It is a matte, but a very luminous blush, okay? So that is the blush color there. I'm trying to see if you can catch the light. So very, very, very light, but very buildable, and it's got some luminescence to it. I adore this blush. I broke this palette, for those of you who may not have seen my channel before. I broke this palette. I'm gonna put this on the side. It's really hard. It's not showing up as much as I wanted to. And this shade went bye-bye, as well as the other shades. Here it is, right there. And I repurchased it again. And that says a lot because I, one, have a lot of blushes. Two, I was very upset that it broke on me, so I wanted to boycott the whole oversized palette situation, but the colors were so pretty, and this blush was just like everything. It's like the perfect everyday pink when you want to give your cheeks like a healthy flush of color. And then the bronzer and the highlighter are stunning as well, so you really could get such a beautiful one and done look with this. So if I really was going on vacation, which I did last year with this palette and broke it there, I can use this. I could take this and I will have my blush and my bronzer. You can do it separately because they're so large, or you can swirl everything together, give yourself a nice healthy glow. But yeah, this is definitely one of the things I would have to pick up right away. Since we're moving into face palettes, let's now talk about another face palette. This is the Chanel Jour de Lumière, and you guys know how much I love this palette. I've talked about it so much since I received it. I use it almost every single day, so much so I'm considering getting a backup, but then I think, no, don't do that. You know there are other things that may come out, but then they may not, like the Fantasy de Chanel. I want to get a backup. I didn't. I should have. So I'm like having an inner battle with myself, but I'm gonna be good because I'm on a lower buy this year. But these highlighters are stunning. I mean, they look like wet skin. If you should buy this palette, if you are on the fence, right, and you like warm tones, let me preface that. You like warm tones, you are gonna love this here palette because it is just going to be a dream highlighter on your face. I mean, every shade, you have so many different colors to choose from. It's just so, so stunning. And I would have to find this and purchase it immediately if I lost all my makeup. Okay, so now let's just talk about bronzers. I'm only going to include one bronzer because this one has been tried and true. I actually went through a whole one of this already, and this is the Hermes bronzer in Atlas. This is such a stunning bronzer. I have a lot of bronzers and I like bronzer, I really do. So I have many, but this one just hits all the right spots for me. It's just a hair darker than my skin tone. And I think that's very important to note because do you see? It's ever so slight. And there's something to a bronzer that isn't obvious that can look so sophisticated and so sleek on you, right? In this case, it's just so beautiful. It's buildable. And as you can see, I did many swatches to get it to this point. So it takes quite a bit to build it. It's just so soft, so subtle. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful formula. And so for that reason, Hermes Atlas is my go-to bronzer, the one I would purchase over and over again. So now we're on cream products. First, I have to mention the Christian Dior contour stick, which for me, the contour stick was number 2. Originally, I bought number 3 to be an actual contour, but let's be real with myself. I don't contour like that, hardly ever. Contour is more for shadow, right? And I just like to warm my skin with bronzer. So for me, I prefer the bronze, and this is the color. This is such a beautiful bronzer. It's just, as you can see, it's a different tone than the Hermes, but I like it because in the warmer months when I'm darker, this is gonna really look so healthy, so flushed. You can blur it out. It's very nice. It's hydrating and it lasts a long time. So for that reason, I had to give mention to this because for travel, for ease, for if you do your makeup on the go, it's easy to blend. It's a fantastic cream bronzer. My favorite. I love this. And then let's talk about the Chanel cream to powder blushes. I'm not a big fan of cream blushes. Okay, let's say that. So for this to win me over the way that it has is shocking, okay? I have 3 colors that I kept. I gave 2 to my mom-in-law, but I have Rose Ardente, Beige Eclat, and Rose, there's another one. I can't remember, 2 rows. I did a whole review on all 5. And these are the colors. So we have Beige Eclat. So if you're lighter in skin tone than you're gonna love this. Now this color is a little hard for me to work with on my own. And then there's Rose Ardente, and that is a beautiful, like, see, and it shears out. So it's a very beautiful cool pink. And the other, I can't recall when I was looking for it, but I can't find it right now, is more of a warm tone. So if I use Beige Eclat, I definitely use it with one of the other pink colors. But of all of them, I think I use the Rose Ardente the most. I just love how healthy and flushed it makes my cheeks look. It's such a pretty, pretty color. And I ultimately really love how these lay down. They're different than any cream formula I've ever had. It's hydrating, it's beautiful, it lasts all day. It just is the best cream product I've ever tried in a blush form. I tried so many cream blushes, but yes? Yes, come in. I'm filming. Bye, baby. And I don't think I'm gonna try any more cream blushes in general or liquid blushes because I just love this one so much. Now let's talk about foundations. So let's go from lightest to heaviest in the finish. So the Le Beige Water Fresh Tint, it's a classic. I love this. I use this very often, especially on days when I'm not working. It's easy. It gives you a very beautiful, seamless look when you don't want to do too much of their makeup. I especially love this during summer because you want your skin to look very perfected and flawless without a lot of heaviness because it's hot, it's sweaty, you just don't want it. This is probably like my 5th bottle. I love this. I don't think I'll ever be without it. I need to have it in my collection. It's fantastic. It's a classic for a reason. And yeah, this is in the color medium plus. We have the U Beauty Super Tinted Hydrator. And this was relatively new to me. I think I tried this last year. And it's a must-have during the dry winter months for my skin. It is so beautiful. Now, if you have oily skin, this is not going to be your best friend. But if you have dry skin, dehydrated skin, your skin is going to drink this up like water. It is so moisturizing, hydrating. Then we have my newest favorite, which is the Forever Hydra Nude Foundation. This, as you can see how much is gone? I've not had this very long, okay? And I've already gone through a quarter of this foundation and I'm okay with it. I absolutely love this. This has to be one of my favorite foundations. I have been on the lookout for a beautiful foundation that's very hydrating, that doesn't cling to pores, that isn't $140, that is just a beautiful finish, and this has given it to me. So I love everything about this foundation. It's my everyday. I pretty much wear it every day to work now. So that's why I've hit a dent and I've been wearing it for like a month straight. So love. You always need one foundation for special occasions. And that has to be my Clé de Peau Radiant Fluid Foundation in Natural. There are two. There's the natural and there's the matte. And the natural, it's just so beautiful. Looks good in all occasions. It's perfecting, it's blurring. I would say this is full medium coverage. So when I'm going out, I use this when I go to weddings or I'm in a wedding. I have used this. Yes, it's got SPF in it, but I have no issues with flashback, which is beautiful. So I love this. I don't want to save it for special occasions because it is an expensive foundation. It's about $140, I believe, but I did get this on sale at Nordstrom's when they're having like a 15% off sale. So wait for sale, I would say, but it's a beautiful, beautiful formula. If you have drier skin, textured skin, this is gonna be just so flattering on your skin type. And the only caveat I have with this is that it's not my absolute perfect tone, but I have other products I can combine to get my perfect color in the summer. But this is definitely a winter color for me. And this is ochre. This is 040 Light Tan Ochre. And I did swatch this in store, but it was like not wintertime. I have to say, I think it was like April or May, but it definitely wasn't summertime. So I need one more shade deeper than this. And I don't want to buy two to mix it. So anyways, I just wish there was one shade in between that was a little better shade match for me. But it's a beautiful formula. Let's talk about eyeshadows. Now, these are all going to be in the same vein, okay? Most of these. These are the Chanel Ombre Essentials. This is in the color Latte Frappe. This is one of their newer colors. I love the Chanel single shadows. They are so fantastic. So much better than the Dior single shadows. These don't dry up. Dior's do. Their single shadows, I have so many of them and they dried up so quickly. It's so annoying. So I'm not putting any of those in here. Although the one that I like the most there with Dior is Beige Mitza. But for the reason that they dry up, I'm not going to add it here. But this is a beautiful, beautiful formula. I have several shades, but if I could only, have so many things, I would pick the Jade Faucet, which I do not believe is available anymore, which is such a shame. If it is, I will try to find it, but it's a beautiful greenish iridescent blue. It's so beautiful. I don't even think I can explain the color that it is. It's just stunning. It's a stunning color. I love it. Every time I wear it, I put it on my eyes, it makes me happy. And then they have the topper, which is the Blanc Pearl. It's this crazy, like translucent, pinky, iridescent. I mean, you weren't expecting it, but it comes at you in the most crazy way. It's so beautiful. It really is. And yeah, I don't know if it's going to pick up, but it's a gorgeous, gorgeous shade. Beautiful. And then this is the best. This Latte Frappe is one of the absolute best single shadows for, you know, for crease color. It reminds me of like MAC, when MAC used to have, well, they still do have their single shadow, but when single shadows were it, this reminds me of it, and I love, love, love it. I'm so sad it's a limited edition, because that just needs to be part of the collection to me, in my personal opinion. And then the last one that I recently picked up is Peach Glacé. Now this came out in the end of 2024, and I skipped it because I felt like I didn't need it. But the more I saw it, the more I loved it, and I love these shadows so much that I was like, I think I need to add it. So when I recently purchased the newest Chanel Camellia collection, I asked Jacob to add this for me. It's so pretty, and I don't know if you're gonna get the color like I want you to. I just filmed the Camellia collection, and now it's pretty late, so I've lost some of the day, but I want to make sure I get this video out to you guys. And if I don't film today, it'll be like weeks before I can film it again. But let me see if you can see it. That's it. So pretty. And it's not going to do justice. Like when I'm looking at it, it's such a beautiful shade. I just can't wait to wear this. I must have these 4, okay? But I'm counting this as 1. We have the Lisa Eldridge Liquid Silk eyeshadow. This is my all-time favorite one and done eyeshadow. It's gorgeous. It blends like a dream. You can use it as like a base for eyeshadow, but I never do. I only use it when I want to like not do anything. If I want to like just have a little color to my eye to take away the discoloration, pop a little shimmer on top, put a liner, mascara, and be out. This is the perfect color. This is in Phoebe. I will absolutely continue to repurchase this. This is my favorite. I actually need to get a refill. So once I go back for what I need some refills on, I'm going to get another one of those because I'm pretty close to being done. I can feel that. I recently did a Guerlain video, and this is in the color Honey Amber. I love so much about this eyeshadow palette. I really do. I love to combine these 2 colors. They're so pretty together. I love to add this for a little cool brown moment, but it's got a little warmth to it. This one's really pretty too, but you're going to be making a statement with this here color. I did a review on it, so I'll link it here. I'm not going to swatch all these because I'm running out of room. It's a beautiful color story, and I love a lot of Guerlain palettes. I think they're beautiful, they're pigmented, they're creamy, they're very flattering. So this has to be my favorite one so far, even with the Wild Nudes, I know. Just because I can use more of the colors and create more looks. So I need to have Honey Amber. We have a surprising one. This is a limited edition, of course, surprise, surprise, Dior palette. This is the Plein de Paris collection. It came with 4 different colors. I chose the boring one, and boy, am I glad I did. It's the best. They're creamy. They're pigmented, they're not dry. You know, I've had this for over 6 months, and it's got a 6-month shelf life, but the colors are still so beautiful. The shimmers are gorgeous. Everything is still beautiful. It's still, this is what Dior needs to do 100% of the time, but they don't. So this is a very hit or miss situation. It sucks. I'm not going to recommend any other Dior thing eyeshadow wise, but this Plein de Paris was beautiful. It really was so special, and I know it's not available anymore. I wouldn't be able to get this again, but I'm so glad I have it, and if it was available, I absolutely would purchase this again and again because it's so stunning. It's a beautiful palette. I use it almost every day in some way. Let's talk about eyeliners and mascaras. So it's no surprise. I'm going to tell you, if I can only choose one mascara, it's going to be Chanel. It's going to be their classic Le Volume. It is my go-to. It's one that I love, I trust. It gives me all the volume I need. I have it in brown and black, and I love it. I mean, the other one is the YSL Lash Clash, but I'm trying to be good because I've already added too many things. But that would be a really close second. I like to have them both in my collection at all times, but if I can only choose one, it'd be Le Volume because it gives me everything I need. The YSL just has a beautiful color. That brown is like unlike any brown I've tried, and I've tried many brown mascara formulas. Then I pretty much only use the Chanel liner. I have them in so many colors, but my favorites are the more recent ones, the cherry color, I'll list the names here, and the Brune Mistoir. And then I think the other is, it's a Bordeaux color, but I can't remember at the top of my head. I love them. And then we have, of course, the Stylo Ombre et Couture. They're my favorite. I'm actually wearing a Taya today in my lower lid, but Nude Eclat probably is the one I use the most. It is a perfect liner for under the eye, or like my lower waterline when I want to just create a little bit of lightness to my eyes. And then Ataya is a pretty brownish peachy color. Because I love these peachy colors, Ataya was just like perfect, and Nude Eclat is good for every day. I have a lot of different colors, but these two are my favorite and the ones I use the most and the ones I need to have. Okay guys, we're getting down to the nitty gritty. We have the concealer. The only concealer I'm going to recommend, because I purchased this in 22 peach, light medium, sorry, peach. This is the House Labs concealer. It works as a corrector and a concealer. It's creamy, it's hydrating, it doesn't leave me looking dusty, crusty, and for that reason, this is the only concealer I would get. I don't need tons. There are a lot that I like, but this one, for convenience, for ease of use. Coming in second would be this Chanel Sublumage concealer, which I have very little left of because I have loved it, but it's not very easy to use. It's a little bit cumbersome. You can't travel with it, so for that reason, it's gonna be House Labs for me. Then we have lip liners, and most of these are in the same family, okay? So technically I only have three, okay? Three, but each with two. So, or actually I only have three. So I love the Chanel. This is my backup, so I'm not gonna open this one up. But this is my 158. This is 158. It is my everyday perfect nude brownie pink color. I mean, I just don't need to look further for it. It's a creamy formula. I've talked about this so many years. It will always be in my collection. I always have a backup because I love it that much. This is a newer brand for me. This is the Makeup by Mario. I tried Spice Chai during the last Sephora sale and fell in love with it. And then for my birthday, they gave me a, what is this? Rich Mauve coloring, and they're both lovely. I love them both. Rich Mauve is very close actually to the Chanel. So I wouldn't say I need both of them, okay? But it's a beautiful color nonetheless. It does pull maybe a little purpler than the Chanel 158. And then there's the Spiced Chai, which really had my heart because I needed a nice chocolate brown color. And that's it right there. And then we have the Sephora line. I love Creme de la Creme. It's a perfect peachy color. Okay, that's Creme de la Creme there. And then I love Rose Wine. And those would be the only lip liners I need. And the reason why is because each of them have a certain tone, right? The only thing I don't have is a cool pink, but that's okay. I'm not going to add one because I do have some I could, and I'm not going to, because I could very well create a cool pink tone from my lip colors. I don't necessarily have to do a lip liner too, but if I had to choose, these would be the formulas, these would be the colors. Okay, so I don't talk about my eyebrows too much because I always feel like it's a very extensive situation with my eyebrows. I have very little, very fine, and I have created them for as long as I can recall. But the two things that I go back to are the Urban Decay Brow Blade, and I get it in dark drapes, and then the Rare Beauty brow gel. And then I'll use any powder, okay? Because I've used powder for a long time to like set anything. This has double-ended, okay? It's got an ink side and it's got a pencil side, and the ink I use to draw on those very fine hairs, as you see right at the front of my brows. Sometimes I can get a little crazy and heavy, so you have to be cool, be calm, but it's smudge resistant, it's sebum resistant, sweat resistant, I would say for the most part, but I still set it with the brow gel. So I don't know if that's the new improved version, because yeah, they reformulated, not reformulated, but they repackaged them, and I bought tons of them when they went on sale at Sephora for like $12. So I think I'm pretty much set with these for the rest of the year, but this is pretty much all I use, and whatever brown powder I have with me that it will be complimentary. Okay guys, we're almost done. Okay, so we have lip glosses and lipsticks. Once again, in that idea of like being most of them in the same family. This is a new love. This is the Ole Kendrick lip balm or peptide lip treatment in rose gold. Peptide lip treatments are very big. You know, Rode Beauty also has their own. I am trying some Rode Beauty things now, so I'm not going to get my feelings on those, but I will soon. And it's a beautiful, not only formula, but finish. Oh my gosh, I love it. It's rose gold shimmer. I bought so many of them because they're limited edition, but I love it. I love it so much. I love this. There is the Guerlain. This is my backup because I haven't opened it yet. I'm still using another one. Kiss Kiss Bee Glow Oil, and this is in the color Honey Glow. I talked a lot about this last year, and I love every single one, but this has to be my favorite. And I feel like some of the colors, it's almost like a pH situation, because they all end up kind of looking pinkish on me anyway, with the exception of the purpley, the lavender glow I'm currently wearing. So if I was going to just get one, I would just get this one. This would be it. This is all I need. And it's beautiful. It makes your lips glow. It's glossy. It's hydrating. I love everything about this, except the packaging, which is annoying. We've talked about it. It spills when it tips over. That's the only thing. Then we have the Chanel Les Tenues. I don't talk about this as much as I should. I have 4 of these actually. I couldn't find my caramel, my intense caramel, but that has to be my most purchased, most used. And this is light mauve. It was a limited edition, but I love these. If you want a long lasting, beautiful finish, matte lip, oh my gosh, this is your jam. I mean, they're beautiful, stunning formula. It's the only matte that doesn't look dry. It's got this side of liquid. This one's almost done. I need to open up my backup for this, but I love them. And I heard Chanel came out with new ones, so I will need to go to the store and see about them because I love these. I really do. And I would need to have at least intense caramel and light mauve, even though this is limited edition. But like I said, I have a backup of it. And we have the Dior liquid, what are these called? The Rouge Dior. They're the matte lips. Now I have it in nude 200, and this one surprised me. This is the limited edition sequin one from the holiday collection in Liaison. I use this so much, so much, more than I've been using this. But what I love about these, they're grounding agents. So if your lipstick is too emollient, you can put this finish on top and it sets your lipstick without being too dry, especially because it's emollient. If you have a very emollient lipstick, which I have a lot of, this will make sure that it kind of stays in place and lasts longer without looking dry because you've mixed the two. I love them. I love these. I at least need to have one of these in my collection all the time. Yeah, beautiful. Then we have the Dior, okay. These are the velvet mattes, and I have several colors. I have 625, I feel like is the one that I use quite a bit. It's a beautiful purple pinky color. I love this so much. And also 200, which is a nude color. As you see, I'm almost done. These would probably be the 2 I'd need to repurchase over and over again because I use them so often for so many looks. I use them constantly because they are a beautiful formula, beautiful finish. One of my favorite matte lipsticks to date. Then we have a new love, which is the Rose Tokyo SISELY lipstick. It's expensive, but gosh, is she gorgeous. I'm using this today. It is the most hydrating, beautiful color. If you like warmer tones, you're gonna love this. It's a stunning, stunning formula. Beautiful for filling in lines. It makes your lips look juicy and glowy. I love everything about this. I don't love the packaging necessarily, but the formula itself is gorgeous. And you know I like it so much that I purchased it twice because I thought I lost it originally. This is the Guerlain Pure Gold Skin Diamond Micro Powder in the shade 3 Medium. This is everything I wanted in a powder and more, and I didn't even know. I didn't even know I needed it until I purchased it, and now I don't want anything else. This is the most fantastic, finely milled, blurring, makeup setting, just gorgeousness. It's the only makeup setting powder I have. It's the only one I will purchase from now on. I don't want to try any others. I don't need to. I found it. I found my holy grail. I will always continue to repurchase this unless they change the formula and mess it up. But if they do not, if they keep it just as is in its beautiful perfection, for me, it blurs my pores. It makes my makeup stay. It's the perfect shade and color. It's got just a hair of scent to it, but not a lot, and definitely not unpleasant. It's definitely more heavily scented than the say meteorites, the Guerlain meteorites, but it's a stunning, stunning, stunning powder. I can't say enough, except it's the only powder I have. It's the only one put on this list. It's the only one I would absolutely need to continue to have in my collection. Last, and these are skincare things. So we have the Prada Balm. This is not the color pH changing one, but look how much I love it. We're down to the nub, guys. We're almost done. I have to refill this with the Sephora sale coming up, so I'm going to tread lightly with this, but it is refillable. So I'll just get a refill of this, but it is such a good formula. It works over top of drier, over lipsticks, over under glosses, under anything that isn't quite as hydrating as you'd like it to be. Put this under or over it and it does miracles, because it doesn't change the formula or the texture. It just gives you moisture, and there's nothing on the market I've tried that does that. Everything disrupts. Not this Prada Balm. Okay, then we have SISELY. This is the eye contour mask. I've talked about this already so many times. It's expensive, but what it does for me is worth every penny. It's going to keep my under eyes from looking dry and dehydrated over the course of the day. I find that as I get older, everything is getting a little drier, and my under eyes are one place that specifically I've noticed over the last few years. And I've been looking and searching, trying so many eye creams and eye things and all price points, and this is the only thing that's worked. So for that reason, it's got to be with me at all times. The Chanel Balm Essential. Now, why did I not use this as a makeup? Because I feel like these just add moisture. This is in Mermaid Glow. I love this one. Between this and the Lilas and the Draggy, those are my favorite. Those two were limited edition. Actually, I think Draggy's still available, but the Lilas, the purple one, not available anymore. But anytime you need a little juice, you want your little look to just pop a little. Let me put it somewhere else. Let me put this here. Do you see that little bit of moisture? It just gives you moisture. That's what this does, okay? Let's say I need a little glow. I'm looking a little dry. My makeup's not blending too nice. You just add a little of this and all is right in the world. So for that reason, this is a must. This is the Lisa Eldridge Seamless Skin Enhancing Mist. Fantastic. I use this so much. I've talked about this so much. It's my only setting spray. It is my favorite. It is my love. It's got a fine mist. I don't even want to, too much. I'm gonna have to actually purchase another because I can feel it's getting halfway there. So I'll repurchase this as well as the Phoebe in like the next month or so. But it refreshes your skin, it hydrates, it blends your makeup. For me, it makes my makeup last longer. It's not, like I stated in the past, going to be like an all-nighter setting spray or a Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. It's not going to lock it in that way, but it will lock it in a very hydrated, beautiful way. I've never fallen in love with a setting spray as much as I have with this one. So those are my favorites, the things that I would repurchase time and time again. Tell me, darlings, what are some of the things you love? What are in some of your list? I know I tried really hard, guys, to make this a short list, and this was the shortest I could do. So tell me what you guys thought. Do you have similar loves? And I'd really like to know what your list of things you must have as well. But darlings, I hope you have a wonderful day, a fantastic week, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.